Assalamu alaikum, my students. All of you hear me. I'm Mr. Ashraf, teacher of biology. Inshallah, today we'll begin a new period about the same transport. But we will talk about process of transpiration. The process of transpiration, the middle for solid in the plant, we will choose some student to give me the definition of the transpiration. Who can define the transpiration? To the yet? What's transpiration yet?
Transpiration is the evaporation or the loss of water vapor through the stomach or
Thanks.
out of the stomach.
Thanks. And another one, Ahmed Adel. What's transpiration?
It is the loss of water. It is the loss of water vapor. It is the loss of water vapor in the leaves of plant.
Yeah.
As a leaves it is the loss of water vapor from the leaf of plant. Wait, 1 second.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
It is the loss of water vapor from the leaves of plant. Evaporate water.
So we can say, Ahmed, we can say losing of water in the form of water from the stomata, from the stoma, on the plant.
Okay.
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 I want another one. I want another one. Okay. Hur, what's transpiration stream? What is transpiration stream?
I raised my hand to answer what is transpiration.
Now give me the definition of transpiration and transpiration stream, both of them.
And transpiration.
What is transpiration and what is transpiration stream?
Yeah. Transpiration is the loss of water or the evaporation of water from the leaves of the plant from the stomata. Yeah. And transpiration stream is the movement of water molecules through the plant in the xylem.
Movement, thanks. Water in the xylem. I want another one. Thanks for. There's another one to give me definition of transpiration stream. What is all of the students with me? I think it's Ahmed Adel would like some students. They are raising their hand, but I want all the students to take part with me. Where is the rest? Where is the rest? What is transpiration stream? I want anyone. Okay. Yet another time we took it. I want another one now. What is transpiration stream? Okay. So now we will continue. The process of transpiration, you see the medical cell in the plant leaves are covered within a thin film of moisture. The sun's heat causes some of the moisture to diffuse out of the stomata and evaporate into the atmosphere. Water from the xylem vessel travel to mesophil cells by osmosis to and replace the water. So now, do you remember the structure of the leaf? The structure of the leaf consists of epidermis, then cortex, okay, which contain mesophil tissues called mesophil. We have two kinds of mesophil. We have mesophil pellucid and mesophil spongy. Photosynthesis happens in mesophil spongy. The transpiration stream is that movement of water. Water enter roots here by osmosis. Okay, stop in the word here. That's called the word process. What is osmosis? Who can tell me what is osmosis? Who can tell me what is osmosis? Here, this one, osmosis. Can tell me. Who can tell me what is osmosis here? Osmosis one. I want in one. Give me what is osmosis now. Choose. Osmosis means movement of water from high concentration to low concentration. I will repeat and see if the student with me. Yahya, are with me? Yahya, are with me? Okay, another one. That's Yahya, Iyad, where is the other? Okay, so osmotic movement of water from high concentration to low concentration. Now we will go to the osmosis here, this one. If we want to draw, I'm drawing about epidermis. Epidermis, if you remember, that is the epidermis here. Then we have ballast cell, do you remember? That is the ballast cell. This ballast cell contains just nucleus, and we have a lot of cytoplasm, a lot of chloroplast here, a lot of chloroplast, green chloroplast here. Then, okay, then we have a spongy cell, like that. We have a lot of spongy cells here. The spongy cell here contains bases between them. This is basis between the spongy cell, lactary and trine. So we have also okay, lower epidermis, this lower epidermis like that. Between each lower epidermis we have stoma, that is the stoma. Around the stoma, this happen, not having transpiration in the Golgi cell. That is the opening of the stoma, that is the Golgi cell. And that is the lower epidermis here. In the lower epidermis here. This is upper epidermis here. It's called upper epidermis. This one, we can say, is here, upper epidermis. This one is the lower epidermis, lower. Okay, lower epidermis. Here, there is a stoma here. In the stoma, there is water evaporation. So, the osmosis means that water enter root here by osmosis to the root here. Water moves up by the root to reach the xylem vessel. If we draw any plant, that is the root, then the stem, then we have here the leaf. The water comes from the root, then stem, then to the leaf. This causes the water to move upward through the xylem vessel. There is a xylem vessel here, then we have a xylem vessel here, so we have a xylem vessel here. Okay, as we said, what is the function of the xylem now? It will transport water. The water is lost after that through transpiration in the transpiration stream. Understand? I will repeat another time. The water enters roots here by osmosis first, and we said water osmosis. Then water moves up the root and reaches xylem vessel. That is the xylem vessel. In the pressure at the top of the xylem vessel, it's lower than the bottom. This causes the water to move upward through the xylem vessel until the leaf is musical source. The water is lost through transpiration. Okay, how do we measure transpiration rates? We measure transpiration rates, okay, through apparatus called the apatometer. Apatometer like apparatus which measure the rate of the rate of the transpiration. Now, I will ask about transpiration another time. But after we have finished this one, we see conditions which affect transpiration rates. What are the conditions which affect how transpiration rates are affected? Transpiration creates a temperature increase. Why? Due to increased kinetic energy in water molecules at the temperature. So we have many factors which affect transpiration. Number one, temperature. Number two, humidity. Number three, wind speed. Number five, light speed. Okay, water supply. This is called the condition which affect on transpiration. If we talk the condition of this transpiration, okay, just to read this one. Transpiration increase as temperature increase due to increased kinetic energy in water. Now, number 2, transpiration decrease and humidity increase. Now I want to ask what is humidity here? I want to ask about humidity here. Who know what is the humidity? I will ask now. I will choose. What is the humidity, my friends? Just say it. I want to students humidity. What is the humidity? Huh? One. I want any students. Okay, Yad, what is the humidity? Yad.
Humidity is the amount of water or amount of water in the atmosphere.
Thank you, Yad. Another one. Who? What is humidity?
Humidity is how moist the atmosphere is.
Yeah. How moist the atmosphere? Okay, Hur?
How moist the atmosphere is.
Kind of
The amount of
the amount
water in the atmosphere.
The amount of water in the atmosphere. Thanks. And the other one, Yazan. Yazan, you are with me? Okay. Yazan. Baha.
Humidity is the concentration of water vapor in the air.
Okay, I want Yahya. Are you Yahya today?
Yes. Measurement of how much water is there in the air.
Thanks. So now we will talk. In your book, inshallah, you will see a lot of images about humidity. But do you see well, Yahya, do you see well the structure of the plant here or no? The humidity means, do you know when the water is losing from here? There is water vapor. So there is a humidity. Thanks, Yahya. So I want another one. Okay, this one. I want to ask another question about transpiration stream. About transpiration stream. So now, transpiration stream. We said the transpiration is the movement of water. So the other factor is wind speed. The wind increase. The wind increase. Transpiration rates as water evaporate more quickly on windy day. Light intensity, the greater the light intensity, the greater the chance that a plant will open its stomata to photosynthesis. Hence, the greater transpiration will be. After that, we have water supply. In a short water supply, a plant will conserve water instead of wasting it. The shorter the water supply, the lesser the transpiration. So I want to ask now, what are the conditions which affect on transpiration? Who can answer? I will choose also. What are the conditions which affect transpiration? Yeah, Muhammad Duraiqat. Muhammad, yeah.
Mr. Water supply.
Water supply.
Humidity. Light intensity.
Bravo.
Wind.
Thanks.
Is that enough?
Don't worry, thanks. I want another one. But I want, who can raise his hand? I want all students to raise their hand. Don't afraid. Just to discuss. Just for Hashim. Hashim, what other conditions which affect transpiration?
Mr. Temperature.
Temperature, okay.
Humidity, wind speed.
Humidity, that's enough. Okay, Hashim, enough, Hashim. Hur, what is the other condition?
Light intensity, humidity, air movements.
Yeah.
and the water supply.
Thanks. So that is the condition which affected transpiration. There is another definition, okay, of transpiration, but now we go to translocation to understand well. We go to now to translocation. What is translocation here? Translocation means that different from transpiration, movement of organic food such as sucrose. As we said before, and we drew before, in the leaf, that is the leaf of the plant. In the leaf, there is a photosynthesis here happen. The products of photosynthesis here may be carbohydrate, maybe amino acids. You remember? The plant will take sunlight, then carbon dioxide. Okay, it will give oxygen and will give nutrients like what? Like amino acid. You see this one, or like sucrose. This one it will do sucrose. So sucrose, starch, all of them they are carbohydrates. Amino acid to the kind of the last unit of protein. From protein production, that is I want to explain today. So in photosynthesis, sucrose is formed here in the leaf. So the region of storing sucrose or glucose or nutrients or the food in the photosynthesis, this is called the source. The source is the part of the plant where sucrose and the amino acid are being produced by photosynthesis. That is the leaf here. But the sink, this one, is the part of a plant where sucrose and the amino acid are translocated. For example, flowers, for example, roots, for example, tubers, and so on. I will repeat another time. What is the source here? The source is the place or the part where the food, okay, or where sucrose and amino acid and nutrients are being produced. That is the source. The sink, any part with the food go to it, mean the part of a plant where all nutrients like sucrose, like amino acid are translocated. So we took translocation. You understand now what is the difference between source and sink? I will repeat. The source is the part of the plant where sucrose and amino acid are being produced. They are produced in the leaf here. Why? Because the leaf, the part which makes photosynthesis here in the plant. So these nutrients will go to the stem, then the root, then the stem, then the flower, and so on. This is the here. That is the sink or the source. That is the sink here. That is the sink here. But that is the source here. The plant here is the source here. Okay. So what is the difference between the source and the sink? I will choose now. What is the difference between the source and the sink? Who can answer? What is the difference between the source and the sink? Thank you, Zulkat. You take part. I want another one today. Yahya, you take part. I want another one. Omar. Okay. Omar.
The source is the part of the plant, a part in the plant where sucrose and amino acid come to each other, and they are produced by photosynthesis.
Thanks.
But the sink were also sucrose and amino acid, but they are translocated.
Thanks. I want another one. What is the difference between source and sink? I want all of the students to take part with me. Or explain another time. If you don't understand, I will explain another time. I will choose Ahmed Adel. You are with me, Ahmed Adel? With me or another one? Ahmed Ramadan, for example. You don't understand Ahmed Ramadan? You repeat? Ahmed Ramadan, you are with me? You don't understand, I will repeat. With Baha Al Hawari, you understand? Iyad. What's the difference between source and the sink, Iyad?
Source is a part of the plant that produces or manufactures the amino acid and sucrose, while the sink is the part of the plant like stem that receives the food or receives the amino acid and sucrose
Thanks. I
by
want to know.
translocation.
Thanks. Yazan, what is the source and the sink?
The source is the part of the plant where food is made or sucrose and amino acids are made. But
Okay, thank you.
the sink is the place where the sucrose or amino acid is used or stored, and it gets them by translocation.
Yeah, thanks. So now we want to understand more what is the source and what is the sink. Who understand well or no? I own this one. Yeah. What is the source? What's your name?
Mr. Source refers to the site where plants produce their own food.
Thanks.
And sink refers to site where the plant stores the produced food.
All of the students understand what is the source and sink now? You must understand it well, because after that, okay, you have a problem. I want a lot of students to take part with me. Okay, no problem. So I will read another time. A source is the part of the plant where sucrose and amino acid are being produced by photosynthesis. A sink is the part of the plant where sucrose and amino acid are translocated. For example, flower, for example, roots, for example, tubers, and so on. So now, units of sucrose. In the plant here, we said there are a lot of parts in the plant stem, root, and leaf. But we said in the leaf, here, in the leaf, we have, that is the leaf. After sucrose is formed, or glucose, or any kind of nutrients, sucrose changes to starch, so that changes to starch, may be stored in the starch. I want to ask a question now. The starch in the plant called what, and the starch in the animal called what? We see the starch is the polysaccharide. We accept it. The starch in the plant called what, and the starch in the animal called what? I will choose now. I will choose now, immediately. Where is this one? No, I want Abdurrahman Hisham, you are with me? You don't know? Iyad, okay. Or Yahya, anyone? Iyad, yeah. The starch in the plant called what, Iyad?
In the animal, it is called glucose, in the plant, starch.
In the animal called glucose, you are sure?
I guess.
I will choose another one. Yahya?
In the animals, it's glycogen.
Bravo, Ali. Bravo. Thanks. Glycogen. And thanks, Ziyad, for participation. No problem. Okay. I want Baha al-Hawari. Baha al-Hawari in plant, the starch in the plant, called what? And the
It's called glucose.
No, we said now. Baha. Starch in the animal.
The starch in animal glycogen.
Glycogen. Glycogen is called glycogen. Yes. But in the plant, it's called the starch. So now, the saccharose here changes to starch. In the flower, saccharose is converted to sweet tasting nectar. It's called the fructose. Okay? It's called the what? Fructose. But this is called fructose now. But in the when we go to the leaf here, where is a sink or a source that is here, to the source here. Okay. Developing parts of plants, sucrose and amino acid are translocated to growing part of the plant for development. That is development of what? Development of the plant, of the root, the stems, and the leaf, and so on. Understand? Until now, understand? Translocation during different seasons. Many plants have time of year when they become dormant. Okay. During this stage, they wait out harsh condition in a state of reduced metabolic. Dormant plants don't photosynthesize, but survive on their stored starch, oils, and other material. When the season change, they begin to grow again. Now, the stored material are converted to sucrose and transported to the growing regions. For example, to understand this, you know potato. And the potato plants are not able to survive. The cold frost of winter, let's see that what happens. Number one, in the summer, leaves photosynthesize mean that the verb here, photosynthesis, and sensor grows down into the underground stem. Understand? Here. Swelling called tuber develop, like that. You know tubers? Tuber of potatoes. This one. Tubers. Swelling called tuber develop. The cells in the root tuber change its porosity charge and store it. Okay? In the winter, the leaves here in the winter, what happened in the winter? The leaves and the stem wear off. Means it will die. Nothing is left of the potato plant above ground. Just the stem tuber beneath the soil. That's you will eat. Spring, you begin to grow new shoots and leaves. What is shoots here? Shoot and leaves. The part above the earth is called, or above the soil is called shoots and leaves. The starch in the tuber, it changes back to sucrose under time and transmits the phloem to the growing stem and leaves. This will continue, then continue, then continue until the leaf and stem are above ground to start to photosynthesize the killer. So, in summer, the leaves are source, and the growing stem tubers are sinks. In spring, the stem tubers are sources, and the growing leaves are sinks. I will repeat another time. You remember the sink and the source. In the summer, the leaf here is the source. But in spring, what is the source here? The source is the stem tubers. We are doing now. That is the source. In the summer, the sink, okay, the growing stem tuber, the versus. But in spring, okay, the leaves are the sink, versus. But continually the plant, according to source and sink. I will repeat this another time. So now, I will repeat. In the winter, the leaves of the stems die. Nothing is left of the potato plant above ground. That's the stem tuber beneath the soil. Then in the spring, they begin to grow shoots and leaves. The starch in the tuber, it changes back to sucrose and supports in the phloem. Do you know the phloem? You remember? You remember the phloem? The phloem will be, do you remember when the phloem? That is the part of the plant when manufactured consists of, this is called, that is safe tube. Safe tube. Thin seed plate here. We have a companion cell here. Okay, it's called the safe. That's the phloem. The phloem transports the food, not the water, but the xylem transports water. So that is the function of the phloem. I will ask, what is the function of the phloem now? Another one. What is the function of the flow? See now, huh? Who can see? Who can see the function of the phloem? Mustafa Salah? Okay, Salah, Mustafa Salah. What is the function of the phloem, Mustafa? Okay. I want Abdurrahman. Yeah, Abdurrahman Hisham.
Mr. The name of this transport manufacturer.
Transport. Transport.
Transport manufactured food in the form of sugar and amino acids.
Thanks. Another one. Yahya, we said a lot of Yahya now. Four.
Phloem is the tube where the food molecules travel to all parts of the plant.
Thanks. Another one. Another one. Omar.
في lag. مستر مش سامع.
What is the function of the phloem, Omar? What is the function of the phloem?
مش سامعك.
What is the function? Omar, you don't hear me? You hear me now? You hear me now?
Yes, yes.
What is the function of the phloem?
Phloem transport food to the plant.
Transport manufactured foods. I want another one. I want Mustafa. Okay. Mustafa Saleh. What are the food which the transport through the plant? Mustafa Saleh, you know? Okay. The leaf here it is considered sink or source here. The leaf here which transport the food, the feed which the food is made. It's called the source or sink, Mustafa Saleh?
Sink.
Where the food is made, in the sink or the source?
Where is food is made is the sink. Food is made is source, I think. Source, and sink is the place in the plant which food is stored.
Thanks. So I will repeat another time to the observer that maybe you don't understand what is the source and the sink. If you go to another time to the cells, if we go to the leaf here, in the winter, the leaf and the stem. So the starch in the tuber changes back to the sucrose, transported in the phloem. Okay. So in the summer, the leaves are sources, but the growing stem tuber are sinks. If you understand now, in the spring, the stem tubers are sources, and the growing leaf are sinks. So the verses I will repeat another time. In the summer, different from in the spring. In the summer, the leaf make the food, you know. So they are the sources of the food here. In the spring, the stem tubers are sources, and the growing leaves are sinks here. You understand now? I'm sure now you understand the difference between sink and source now. It's the difference between sink and source now. You understand? Inshallah, in the next time, we will solve the problem. Today, we are explaining and discuss a lot of conditions about transpiration, you know, about transpiration rates. We said the instrument which used in transpiration rate are measured using the measurement or the apparatus which used in, measure the rate of transpiration is called the photometer. That is the apparatus here. Okay, it's called the that's an instrument called photometer. We'll talk a lot of them in the past paper, inshallah. And we took the condition. We said temperature. Okay, we said humidity. We include wind speed. We said light intensity. water supply. And after that, we go to translocation to differentiate between the source and the sink. Then we talk uses of saccharose. You understand well? Okay, this is all of them with the saccharose. Then that's application or apply to the sink and the source. As we said